So in our office, when people come in that are complaining of headaches, whether they be tension headaches or migraines, the first thing that we're looking for is we're looking for any type of misalignments in the spine, because the main treatment that we're going to deliver here in the office is going to be a chiropractic adjustment. Now, if your headaches are not coming from any type of dysfunction or lack of motion or misalignment in your spine, then getting adjusted is not going to take the headache away. But if the headache is coming because of some kind of irritation to those nerves that come out of your spine, and an adjustment will help relieve that tension or that inflammation, then your headaches will go away, because they're the symptom of the cause, which is that your spine is not functioning correctly. So when we look at the spine, so I'll show you here in a second. Blair is going to be my assistant today, and she's going to be the one that we'll be doing an adjustment on. And we'll be showing you how the adjustment actually works. But before that, I want to show you how the spine actually functions, how the nerves come out, and what we're trying to feel for, first of all, and then also to adjust. All right. So first of all, what we're doing is we're looking at the top two vertebra in most cases. So the top vertebra is C1, so this is the bottom part of your skull. Your brainstem comes down in this hole called the foramen magnum. And then the first vertebra is C1, which is cervical 1. And the nerves that come out of there are the closest to your brainstem, and they also go up into your head, eyes, nose, ears, and throat. So the brain sends the information through the spine and then out through the nerve. That nerve then delivers the information to wherever the nerve ends up at. So if that's in the muscles around your head, or the suboccipital muscles here that connect your skull to your spine, well, then those are going to not function the same way. There may be some irritation, there may be some tightness, and that can create problems, and one of the symptoms can be headaches. So if one of these vertebrae gets out of alignment like this, it can actually put pressure on that nerve, and again, that's what's going to create that problem. So C1 and C2 are the two vertebrae that really cause the biggest problems when we are looking at headaches. So if either one of these get out of alignment or stop moving the way they're supposed to, that's going to create irritation, and that's what we need to relieve to get rid of those headaches. So I'm going to have Blair go ahead and lay on back. And we'll kind of walk you through the process of what we do here in the practice. So at this point, if she was a patient, she would have already been through a chiropractic exam, orthopedic exam. We'd rule out any kind of red flags that we might be worried about. And so at this point, she gets adjusted regularly, so we know that that she's fine to get adjusted. And so when I feel along her neck, what I'm looking for is any kind of misalignment. I'm looking for one side that may be protruding more than the other. And then I can also look at the motion in the vertebra and see if things are moving the way that they should be. And when we find a segment that isn't moving correctly, that means that it can be stuck, and then that can create inflammation. That's actually where arthritis starts to set in, because if a joint is not moving the way it's supposed to, the brain will say, well, if it's not moving, it must not need to move, and it'll start to lay down more bone. That's where you get bone spurs and degeneration. So we always want to make sure, that's why getting regular adjustments is such an important part of your health, because keeping that spine mobile is what keeps your nervous system healthy. So I found a little bit of a restriction here at C1 here on the right. So when I'm pressing there, I can feel the side of the vertebra that I showed you on the model earlier. So what I would do is I would take my contact, and then with a light adjustment, start to move that back into place, and also get the vertebra moving the way it's supposed to. So we also have the ability to use instruments. If for whatever reason somebody can't be manually adjusted, like little kids, or somebody who has osteoporosis, or maybe somebody who has a fusion lower down in their neck, we would want to use an instrument called an activator, which is just a really light force way of doing the same type of adjustment. I find that the manual adjustments are the most effective and the most successful with getting rid of headaches, so we like to do those whenever possible. So if you have headaches at all, make sure that you give us a call at the office, leave a comment below. If you know someone who's suffering from headaches and they could use this information, please share it with them, and we'll see you on the next one.